This is the best mods you can do to your Mazda Speed 3 or 6. This is kind of like the best must-do mods video I did a while back. And we're going to have a whole bunch of mods. Most of them are going to be pretty cheap. And they make a big difference. You have to do them, surely. Let's go. So, the first mod I would recommend straight away would be a Resonator Delete on the exhaust. Just go to some muffler shop or an exhaust shop and just get them to cut out the resonator, put in a pipe. That's usually got to cost you around $40 US, and it's such an easy way to make them sound so nice. It is louder, but it's really not too loud. It's a real nice tone, it's cheap. Perhaps if it isn't loud enough, you could get the muffler deleted as well. This next mod is great because it's free. It applies to the Mazda Speed 3s. So basically, to prevent torque stare, Mazda have what's called a steering angle sensor, and that senses when the wheels are being turned due to torque stare, and when that happens, it lowers the boost in first and second gear. So all you need to do, go there, unplug that, now you've got more boost and more power in first and second gear. Plus it's way more hectic, more torque stare, more power, it's great. Now going from one of the cheaper mods on this list to one of the most expensive. It's the rear sway bar. This makes your car handle in a completely different way. JJ did a video on this reviewing his rear sway bar after he put it in, and damn, let's just say it makes a big difference. He did white line, there's also, JBR, which is $200 US. Though to be fair, what I do if you can't afford that is just wait for someone's parting out their build, or there's a Speed 3 at the scrapyard, and see if they have an aftermarket rear sway bar, take that, it's a lot cheaper. Now what this does is it's got to stiffen up the rear. You've got to feel the car want to rotate more around corners like it's rear wheel drive. In fact, you can get a bit of lift off oversteer. It reduces understeer, it reduces body roll a lot. And the thing is, it doesn't make it really uncomfortable. It still is really comfortable afterwards. It's barely noticeable until you take corners. The next mod continues with the same sort of handling idea. It's a front strut brace. And so basically, when you turn in, the front's really got to dig in and hook. There was this YouTuber, Jesse Collingham, and he had an EP3 Civic Type R. He did yellow speed coilovers, poly bushes, control arms, and all that stuff. And when he got his MPS and put on a front strut brace, he said that that made a bigger difference than any of those mods for his Type R. And another mod, and I think if it's your first turbo car, you have to do this, and it's a blow-off valve. It's just a part of owning a turbo car. It sounds so sick. Now on the Speed 3s they run a recirculation valve from standard. So if you want to be as reliable as possible and not need a tune, get one of them. But a vent to atmosphere sounds a lot cooler. But basically when you let off the gas, it will run a bit rich for like half a second. It's not that bad on the Speed 3s running a vent to atmosphere on a standard map, but just not ideal. Now, chances are, if you're watching this, you have a Mazda Speed 3 or a Speed 6. This is a Mazda Speed channel, so surely subscribe and possibly like the video if you do like it. And next up is some more good, cheap mods. We gotta start now with the short shifter. They're like a short shift plate from Cork Sporters, $80 US. I'm sure you can get it cheaper at other places, and it has an adjustable short shifter between 20 to 30% reduction. I just put it at 25 so you don't grind gears. And continuing with cheap shifter mods is shifter bushings. These will be aluminium, not rubber. It will make your gear shifts feel crisper, sharper, a bit more mechanical. It's $40. Now some people may say that this makes a really big difference, some people may say that they didn't notice that much. I think it depends on what condition your bushes are in. And the last shifting mod, because yeah, is a shift weight. Again, I heard of this through JJ's video, the 5 best mods under $100. And basically it'll make your shifts feel even crisper and more mechanical, and it's like $25. Now this next mod is another one for the boys who've never had a turbo car before, and it's an intake. This is gonna make your turbo spool so you can actually hear it. It's gotta give a bit of a blow-off sound as well. It sounds so good. Now, it's not ideal if you don't have a tune, but really, it isn't that bad. $200, or wait for someone padding out their Speed 3, and you can get it for less than that, or on Facebook or something. And this next mod is, again, expensive, but it's also sort of a part of maintenance, and it's the best mod you can do to any car. It's the tires. Stock, they're 215 section wide. We can go up to 245s on stock wheels. And of course, get some more aggressive tires. This is going to lower your torque steer. It's got to increase your grip when you're accelerating, when you're braking, and when you're turning. So your handling, brakes, and acceleration all improve. This next one is one that you really should do. It's the rear motor mount. Now from standard, Mazda used the normal naturally aspirated 2.3 litre Mazda 3 motor mount. Yeah, then they put more than 100 horsepower more into it. When you get an upgrade rear motor mount, it's got to reduce your wheel hop, it's got to reduce your torque steer quite a bit. And it's sort of got to feel like your car is a lot more responsive since the engine doesn't twist when you first put your foot down. And it feels a bit rawer. And now we've got another free mod, and which is just to simply unplug your EGR system. Basically, this has got to improve reliability because the EGR system puts all this nasty carbon buildup onto your intake valves essentially, so unplugging it will stop it from doing that. Now apparently there are some things you check before you do it, but it's free. If you want to be safer, you can get an EGR delete kit, but yeah. And now, if you gotta take it on a track or something like that, or do some long experienced driving, you want to do something with your brakes, and simply just brake pads, brake discs, and braided brake lines with different brake fluid. That will improve your stocking much more, less heat soak, way better. And now for power, the only things I'd really do in terms of the most must do ones is an intake, like I said before. And then just simply a high pressure fuel pump, internals upgraded. The stock one's quite weak, so it is better to get some. It is like $350 though. And the other mod would be a catless downpipe, that's about $300. Just those three mods, pair that with a tune, and you'll be pushing 300 wheel horsepower. That's quite a bit more than standard, and reliability isn't sacrificed too much at 300 wheel. Just make sure you get a good tuner. And on to exterior, the first thing I do, predominantly for the Speed 6s and the Gen 1s, is wheels. I personally really don't like the stock wheels, so what could be cheapest is just buying wheels from another car that looks nicer, like Evo wheels, 350Z wheels, RX-8 wheels. We'll go for some cheaper but still good brands like XXR or Avid 1. And the only other big exterior thing I do is coilovers, which for a good set is probably about $900. But it's not just for looks, it is also for handling. You'll be able to dial it in much better, and also to dial in your fitment. Coilovers are expensive, but they're a really good mod. In terms of exterior, other bits, perhaps a splitter and a spoiler extension. That's about it. They do look pretty good from standard. I'd perhaps do some black wrap on, your roof, your mirrors, that maybe even spray the headlight housings black. And that's the video. If you did enjoy, surely drop a like and subscribe. See you next time.